Do you know what a Vakıf or a charity foundation means? The aim of a charity foundation is to entrust a property to be used for the benefit of humankind forever. For example, when starting up a charity foundation to educate poor children, what you are actually saying is, I am devoting my shop to the charity foundation, and the rental income of this shop is to be utilized to educate all poor children forever, irrespective of their religion, language, nationality, color, or ethnicity. The most important aspect of a charity foundation is that it is meant to subsist forever. The commitment of a charity foundation lasts forever. Do you know about the properties devoted to charity foundations in Cyprus? During the reign of the Ottoman Empire, the 2,200 charity foundations established in Cyprus undertook a variety of duties and obligations that included service to the public in the welfare and social areas. Help was given to Turks, Greeks, Armenians, and Maronites without any discrimination. The charity foundations established in Cyprus owned thousands of dunams of land and thousands of immovable properties all over the island. In fact, around 30% of the whole island belonged to charity foundations. The income from these were utilized to carry out all kinds of good deeds. Many thousands of dunams of land and properties, including Marash, also known as Varosha, were utilized as charity foundation properties that benefited people for over 300 years. Schools, water aqueducts, soup kitchens, inns, Turkish baths, mosques, medical centers, to name a few, were built, renovated, and maintained. Help was provided for the needy. Schools were built and children from less affluent families were given access to education. People who did not own properties were given lands for a low rent so that they could cultivate the land and earn their living. What happened during the British reign? The British reign commenced in Cyprus in 1878, when Cyprus was leased to the UK by the Ottoman Empire. When the British were taking over governing Cyprus, they promised and signed an agreement to the effect that they would manage the charity foundation's properties in full accordance with the charity foundation laws. So what do the charity foundation laws state? Charity foundation laws state that properties belonging to charity foundations cannot be sold or transferred to any individual under any circumstances. Charity foundation properties are to be used for the benefit of the people forever. Did the British manage the charity foundation properties in accordance with the charity foundation laws? Unfortunately, no. Between the years 1878 to 1956, thousands of charity foundation properties were illegally expropriated, transferred to Greeks, Turks, and the Greek Orthodox Church in violation of the charity foundation laws and international laws. Marash was amongst those properties seized unlawfully. So Marash, which had belonged to the charity foundation for 300 years, was all of a sudden shown as having been transferred to private individuals and the Greek Cypriot Church. People who had been granted lengthy tenancies started making claims that they were the actual owners. How can a tenant become an owner of a charity foundation property? It is not only illegal, but also a disgraceful act. But unfortunately, these claims are still continuing. Whilst there is documented evidence which proves that the closed part of Marash with thousands of dunams of land were used as charity foundation lands for 300 years, how can these people still claim ownership? The British, Greek, and international authorities all agree that Marash belonged to charity foundations for 300 years. In fact, the British administration paid an annual sum of £2,230 for the rent of numerous lands, including Marash, from 1944 until the establishment of the Republic of Cyprus in 1960. Then the authorities of the Republic of Cyprus continued paying this rent until 1963 and then stopped paying when problems started between Turks and Greeks. And the story claimed by some that the British paid to purchase these properties is false. The money paid to the Turkish Cypriots at the time of the independence was for education, the development of Vakıf property, and cultural and other like purposes which fall within the competence of the Turkish Communal Chamber. So we ask, if Marash is not a property belonging to charity foundations, Why did the British administration and the Republic of Cyprus authorities pay rent for it to charity foundations? Hence, is it legal or ethical that properties belonging to charity foundations designated for the benefit of the needy are given to individuals or to the church to make them wealthier?